Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. There are concerns tonight. Funding for the Westpac rescue chopper could run dry after a state government decision. A key volunteer fundraising body barred from making further donation, even as they hand over a big cheque today.
A strong handshake, significant of a strong partnership. The Westpac Rescue Helicopter Trust handing over $150,000 to Tasmania Police to upskill its aircrew members.
It's making sure that when they're sending them out into some really precarious situations, they're absolutely on top of their game and they're safe and they're able to perform the rescues we need them to do.
Vital cash for vital skills. However, this donation could be one of the last. The state government axing the trust's sponsorship licence from January.
Our role is to raise funds via sponsorship in the community to enhance the helicopter rescue service, and state-of-the-art night vision goggles, they're $60,000 a pop. So, that's the sort of things we're providing.
The trust has raised around $10 million since 2000. Money poured directly into specialist training and safety equipment. They say the decision is incredibly disappointing and that the move will place the entire funding burden on the taxpayer and an already stretched state budget.
The real missed opportunity here is the fact that Westpac was ready to step up its fundraising efforts to the tune of about $2 million a year. That's money that's all going begging for the Tasmanian Health Service now, so that'll have to come from somewhere else.
Accused of turning its back on a respected institution, the Premier says it's important the state gets value for its money.
We fund the aeromedical services fully in Tasmania, so we're funding them already. And so what we're seeking here, of course, is a better deal for Tasmanians.
Claiming the chopper's operations won't be impacted. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania Police will conduct an independent review into paedophile police officer Paul Reynolds' time in the service. The review will examine cases handled by Reynolds, any potential misconduct, and whether he used his position to groom children. It will be headed by experienced local barrister Regina Weiss and follows calls from the Greens, who say a report should have been instigated immediately.
It's a bad sign that this government wasn't prepared to fully investigate Tasmanian Police and any other government institutions to look at past handling of matters.
Police Minister Felix Ellis admits the government must work to rebuild the trust of victim survivors. And 4 of Tasmania's ex-premiers have united to spruik their support for a voice to Parliament. Despite representing opposing sides of government, former Liberal leaders Peter Gutwein and Will Hodgman and Labor leaders Paul Lennon and Michael Field share the view an advisory body will help close the gap. The group disappointed to see the referendum turn into a political debate.
I would ask my fellow Tasmanians to reflect on the good work that we've done here in Tasmania, because we have put issues for First Nations people above politics.
The greatest risk at this referendum is not about voting yes, it's about voting no and continuing to do the same things that deliver the same results.
Premier Jeremy Rockcliffe is also a strong supporter of the voice. A new playground has opened in memory of Tasmanian woman Madison Lydon, who passed away tragically during an accident in New York. Today, the space was filled with happy children, something the family says is a true tribute to Maddie.
Hand in hand at a special place to remember a daughter, sister and friend taken too soon.
She would be so humbled and proud. Madison loved little children. She would teach them how to swim and she would love it.
This new playground in Sorell, a tribute to Madison Linden, who passed away in New York in 2018. Maddie's father, builder Andrew Linden, put it together, something twin sister Paige says she would be proud of.
Vivacious, curious, creative and confident person she was a real joy to be around, and to have a park in her memory is such an appropriate way to honour her.
Houses are quickly springing up out of the ground in Sorell. The council's welcoming this park with more on the way.
And it's significant to do them slightly different each time. So the children have got challenges, they're more entertained when there's different activities to do, and the safety features of the playgrounds now are quite incredible.
Madison's family hope the space will allow local children to play and make special memories the way Madison and her sisters did when they were little.
And they're some of our happiest memories, so I'm sure there's going to be plenty of families that are going to create so many memories here as well.
Her loved ones adamant they too will continue to visit this place, a symbol and memory of Madison forever. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
All things stitching, embroidery, patchwork and felting were on show at MAC 2 with the first day of the Island Quilt Display. More than 100 masterpieces are hanging as part of the Tasmanian Quilting Guild's annual expo. Crafty critters descending on the event for classes, supplies and more.
To make the most of it, of course, get hands-on, and there's lots of opportunities to do that with workshops and classes, lots of opportunities to sit, listen and learn for free and be inspired.
Tasmanian Governor Barbara Baker was one of the first through the doors. Thousands more are expected to follow in coming days. A new community-led project is hoping to provide a crash course on waste and recycling. A makeshift drop-off zone has been set up as part of Spring Clean Rochalee, with locals able to dispose of household garbage free of charge.
I wanted to address a need in the community, and often it is rubbish. They have barriers to actually removing it.
We saw some of the hurdles, some of the barriers that were out there for people just to do something as simple as remove some unwanted or unnecessary broken stuff from their house.
Organisers behind today's trial run are hoping the initiative can become more regular. A Tasmanian marine biologist is embarking on a gruelling cycling challenge, raising awareness of seismic blasting in our oceans. Annie Ford will take the course on a tour of the state and up the nation's east coast, promoting a new film along the way.
Jumping on the bike, pushing for change throughout Tasmania and beyond.
We can't keep on that old path of constant damaging extraction.
Annie Ford is hitting the road, hoping to shine a light on seismic blasting, warning of a trail of destruction behind it.
It releases a really loud blast into the water every 10 seconds, and this proposal will be up to 400 days of blasts.
A practice which forced her to make the difficult decision to walk away from her old job.
It was the right thing to do, and I could no longer facilitate that industry. I had to leave and share that knowledge.
Annie is teaming up with Surfrider Foundation Australia ahead of the first screening of a new film, Southern Blast. They want to see fossil fuel exploration move on from the Southern Sea.
Seismic blasting is a very damaging practice that needs to end, and this is our way of trying to communicate that story via beautiful imagery.
Pedalling with passion, she'll spend the next 2 months riding a gruelling 4,000-kilometre journey, looking to spark conversation and change on the way from the southernmost tip of Tasmania to the beaches of Noosa.
We can all make a difference, and we can all use our own capacity to make that difference, whether it's large or small.
Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News. Tasmanian basketball fans have begun filling into MyState Bank Arena ahead of the Jack Jumpers' first home game of the season. It will be a full house at the Antness tonight, with a sold-out crowd on hand to watch the Jackies reignite their rivalries with the Sydney Kings. The back-to-back NBL champions are coming in hot off their first-round win against the Hawks, while the Jack Jumpers will be looking to secure their first win of the season after losing to Perth last week. Tip-off is at 7:30. The Tassie Tigers have named a 13-woman squad ahead of their first 2 matches this WNCL season, heading north to take on the ACT Meteors in Canberra on Sunday and Tuesday. The side is adamant the pre-season set them up well.
Had a big training group, which has been nice. Spent a lot of time together, and all the processes we're putting in place, it's keeping us in good stead for the season.
Pressure's always going to be there, whether you're defending a title or not, but this group loves time together and loves being around each other.
Elise Villani will captain the Tigers once again this season. The Tasmanian Devils have packed their bags for Brisbane, with the 2023 AFL National Inclusion Carnival just days away. They'll join around 160 talented footballers with intellectual disabilities, with 72 matches to be played throughout. Our squad aiming to get into a Division A for a second year in a row.
I'm really excited about our squad this year. Like the growth and the talent we have in our squad, I'm really confident that we can potentially go the whole way.
The event plays with all the regular AFL rules but has 12 players per side. Tasmania's richest pairs bowls tournament is rolling into town ahead of a big weekend of action. The Viking has been overwhelmed with entries, attracting some international flair and competitors from across the country. It has 32 teams take to the green, eyeing off a $10,000 prize.
Travelling through bowls is incredible. Get to see different places, meet new people. The prize money is enticing, but I think the camaraderie and making friends is even better.
Held qualifying here a couple of weeks ago and had an excellent number of people participating, and lots of those players that played and missed out have still committed to coming along.
It's the first time the East Launceston Bowls Club has hosted the Viking in a pair format.
Good evening, hope you're enjoying your Friday. Hobart got to 14 degrees today, Launceston, Burnie and St Helens our top with 16, Devonport 15. Temperatures up to 6 below average with the cool winds affecting us all. Lowhead, Friendly Beaches and Ooze all 15 degrees, Strawn and the Islands 14, Grove 12 and Lyoweeney a top of just 6. The overcast skies were made up of low-level cloud that moved up from the southwest today. The north coast missed most of it. Not much cover over the mainland today, some patchy convective cloud over the central coast of WA and the southeast of the nation. Tomorrow the high pushes ridges over a wide area, apart from where the troughs exist over the west through inland New South Wales and Queensland as well. South to southwesterly winds will continue tomorrow at 20 to 25 knots over the south before tending variable and softening from late morning. We do have a frost warning that's been issued for parts of the central north and Midlands. Another cold night on the way for most of us. 6 overnight for Hobart though, 16 tomorrow, 3 to 12 the temperature range for Maydena with a shower or two. A cloudy one for Oatlands, a top of just 12. Launceston, 1 overnight, 17 tomorrow and partly cloudy, becoming cloudy over Devonport, 16 the high, -2 for Lyoweeney and a top of 8 for Saturday. Becoming cloudy in Burnie, 15 the high, 13 for Strawn with a shower, Marrawar 13. And for the east tomorrow, 15 for St Helens, partly cloudy, 16 for Swansea, Orford 15 degrees. On Sunday, a fine day after morning frosts, maybe a shower over the west, winds shifting more southerly on Monday with a shower or two for the south and increasing over the west, and on Tuesday a fine partly cloudy day for one and all. Sunny and 31 tomorrow in Perth, fine and 20 in Adelaide, a cool cloudy day on the way in Melbourne. A fine day for Canberra and Sydney, but a shower or two in Brisbane. Partly cloudy and 10 in Hobart, it's 13 in Launceston and Devonport at the moment. Kim, if there's going to be crashes at Mount Panorama on the weekend, it won't be because of wet weather. 19 and partly cloudy tomorrow, a sunny 20 for Bathurst on Sunday.
Perfect weather. Thank you very much, Murph. That is all your news for now. On behalf of the 7 Tasmanian Nightly News team, thanks for joining us. For now, it's good night.